Hello, students. We were discussing the chapter Cop and the Anthem, and we had seen how the central character, Soapy, was trying to go to the Blackwell's Island prison for 3 months. For this, he tried to eat in a nice restaurant, but the head waiter saw that his trousers were not good, they were torn, and the shoes were also torn, so he did not allow him to enter into this restaurant. The second plan did not also work, where he threw a stone on the glass of a big shop. A cop even ran towards him, but because he was standing there and wanting to be arrested, he did not believe him and ran towards a man who ran away in the other direction. In this way, we see and we have seen that the first two plans have failed, but still, the prison is the best place for him to spend the 3 months. No prison was better than that. The prison had rules that he had to follow. But the good thing about prison is that a gentleman's own life was still his own. And so we have seen that how he thought that the prison is the best way and he would just prefer to go to the Blackwell's Island. We have already seen how he went to the restaurant, and we have also seen how he broke the glass, but he was not caught by the cop. Let us see after that what is the plan that he tries and whether he is caught. You can see here the Soapy standing, but the cop did not doubt him and ran after another man. But the cop's mind did not consider Soapy, and the men who break windows, he said, do not stop there to talk to cops. They run away as fast as they can. So, thinking this, he went away. Thus, Soapy had failed 2 times. Now, across the street was another restaurant. He is trying his luck at another restaurant. It was not so fine as the one on Broadway. In the first restaurant, because of his shabby torn clothes, he was not even allowed to enter here. But he's trying this second restaurant, which is not as good. Maybe he is allowed to enter. The people who went there were not so rich, so maybe he would be allowed. Its food was not so good. Even the food was not so tasty. Into this, Soapy took his old shoes and his torn clothes also, and no one even stopped him. So finally, in this restaurant, he is able to get inside and with the torn clothes and shoes. And no one even stopped. He sat down at a table and was soon eating a big dinner. So at least now he's enjoying the luxury of having a nice dinner. And the plan is the same, that he is not in a state to pay money and then he would be sent to prison. When he had finished, he said that he had no money. Get busy and call a cop. Soapy himself told that go and call a cop, a police, and don't keep a gentleman waiting. And he is eager to be arrested. And what is he saying? That I am waiting for the cop or the police and I am waiting to be arrested. Now, can you guess if a man would himself say that he wants to get arrested? What would be the reaction of the manager of the restaurant? No cop for you, he said the waiter. He called another waiter. The two waiters threw Soapy upon his left ear on the hard street outside. The only punishment here was just throw him out, because this man has maybe not eaten much The cost is not very much, and they are not even very angry because this man is himself wanting to be arrested. So they are not ready to do that. They just threw him on the hard street, and he obviously might have got little hurt on the left ear, but the cops are not called. He stood up slowly. Thus we see that the plan C also did not work. He stood up slowly, one part at a time. You know, if you are thrown, if you are hurt, then it will take some time for you to get up and beat the dust from his clothes. Obviously, your clothes may get dusty, so you need to beat them. Prison seemed only a happy dream, and prison seems to be going away from him, and it is like a distant dream. The island seems very far away, and even this island, the Blackwell's Island, is away. He still has to do something to get to a prison. A cop who was standing near laughed and walked away. Even a cop saw him when he was thrown out from this restaurant, and he laughed and he did not arrest him and went away. Soapy started moving again. When he stopped, he was near several theaters. In this part of the city, streets are brighter and hearts are more joyful than in other parts. So, this is a place where there are many theaters, movie theaters, and it is brightly lit. Women and men in rich warm coats moved happily in the winter air, and rich people are there moving here and there. A sudden fear caught Soapy, but Soapy is in a fear. No cop was going to arrest him. What is the fear, students? That is there no policeman who is ready to arrest him? This would be very, very dangerous for his life, because how would he spend his winter? You can see here in the picture how Soapy is being dragged and thrown on the road, and these are the two waiters of the restaurant. Okay, let us move on and see what is the next plan. Soapy tries his luck twice again, but cops remain indifferent as ever. They are not at all bothered about him, not at all concerned to catch him. Soapy is suddenly reminded of his childhood home. Let us read the chapter and see. Then he came to another cop standing in front of a big theater. He thought of something else to try. Now, when he saw there is a policeman standing, he thought of another plan to give it a try. He began to shout as if he had too much to drink. His voice was as loud as he could make it. He danced, he cried out. That means he is making a strange kind of appearance among the public. He's shouting and he is dancing in a way. So it is appearing as though he is disturbing the other people, and that is also a kind of crime. So he thought that the cop would arrest him. And the cop turned his back to Soapy. But the cop was not at all interested in Soapy. And what did he say this time? He said to a man standing near him, "It is one of those college boys. He won't hurt anything. He is not dangerous for the public. And it has been told that these are college boys. We have orders to let them shout, and we have no problem with them. We have already received orders to let them shout. Even if they shout, they dance, they disturb, there is no problem because they are not going to hurt anybody." So He is standing there but ignoring Soapy. Soapy now became quiet. Was no cop going to touch him? Instead of arresting, no one is even touching him. He began to think of the island as if it were as far away as a star. And this island and the prison seems to be very, very far away as a star. Almost impossible to reach it. He pulled his thin coat around him because it was getting cold. The wind was very cold. Then he saw a man in a shop buying a newspaper. He again started with another plan. What is this plan? He went in a shop. There was a man who was buying a newspaper. The man's umbrella stood beside the door, and the umbrella of this man is just standing beside the door. Soapy stepped inside the shop, took the umbrella, and walked slowly away. Slowly away. He did not run because he wanted to be caught. So this time he stole the umbrella of a man who was there in a shop. Let us see what happens. The man followed him quickly. The man came back to him. My umbrella, he said. And Soapy said, Oh, is it? Is it yours? Said Soapy. Why, don't you call a cop? Is it yours? And I have taken it. So what is to be done? You should be calling a policeman. I took it. Your umbrella. Why don't you call a cop? There is one standing also at the corner. Go and call him. The man walked more slowly. Soapy did the same. Let us see if the man actually calls him and what happens. But he had a feeling that he was going to fail again. The cop looked at the two men. Even the cop came and he looked at both the men. I, said the umbrella man, that is, you know how these things happen. If that's your umbrella, I'm very sorry. But when the policeman came, that man with the umbrella said that if it is your umbrella, you can keep it. That means even this umbrella is not his. What did he say? I am very sorry. I found it this morning in a restaurant. If you say it is yours, I hope you will be right. That means he has stolen an umbrella from a man whose umbrella it was not. He had just found it that morning. So again, he would not report it to the police and the police will not catch him. It's mine, cried Soapy with anger in his voice. Why he is angry? Because what is this terrible situation? He has stolen this umbrella and this man is telling that you can take it if it is yours and it is not mine. So what is all happening like that? Will I not be caught by any policeman? Will I not be sent to jail? What will happen? The umbrella man hurried away. He went away. The cop helped a lady across the street, and the cop began helping a lady and he ignored Soapy. And Soapy also started walking towards the east. He threw the umbrella as far as he could throw it. Now he was so frustrated with this umbrella which did not allow him to go to the prison, that he threw it very, very far. And he talked to himself about cops and what he thought of them. He thought cops are always there to catch the people and to send them to prison. But what is happening now? No cop is ready to catch Soapy, and his desire to go to a prison has become just an imaginary dream. How would he survive during the winters? Let us see in tomorrow's lecture. Meanwhile, you read the chapter and try to understand. I hope you have understood the chapter, students.